Hey YouTube, this is William from Geeks and Wills, and today we will be exploring the Start menu. Just like the taskbar, the Start menu is one of the key features of Windows. This is the central area where you can use to search through folders and open applications and files. As shown before, we can find the Start menu by clicking on the Start button located at the bottom left of the taskbar, like so. We can also access the Start menu by pressing the Windows key on our keyboard. It looks like this. Okay, we have three sections of the Start menu. First, we have the user folder shortcuts down the left hand side. In the center, we have folders and applications, as well as recently added. And then on the right hand side, we have tiles. Tiles is what we're going to start with first, as we're more familiar with that after working with the taskbar. You'll see why in a second. So, let's say I want to add something to as a tile to our Start menu. I can simply find it in the middle section, like here, right click on it, and then click Pin to Start. As you can see, it's appeared here. I can also do the same thing for shortcuts on the desktop. I can right click on it and click Pin to Start. As you can see, it's appeared here. Okay, if you want to move it around, let's say this order is not ideal, we can simply drag and drop, just like this. Okay, now let's see if we can create a folder. As you can see up here, we have a folder already created with all Office applications. Let's try to create our own. So if I want to do that, I can simply start dragging item and simply drop it on top of another tile. As you can see, we have now a folder. And here's the folder here. Let's just move this up here. Okay. Let's say I want to change the folder's name. Let's just call this red test, as both of them are red. As you can see, it's now called red test, and we have both the items in there. Move it to its own little section here. Just drag that there. You can even move different tiles to different types of groups. As you can see, we've got one here called productivity, one called explore, and here we can just call this test. As you can see, we've now got a whole new section called test. But let's say that I don't actually want some items within this folder. I can simply drag it out and then drop. And there you go, it's out of the folder. If you want to remove a folder entirely, then you can drag it out of the folder and make sure everything is out there. There you go. The folder's disappeared and we now have access and an Acrobat Reader by itself. Okay, now we've done that. Let's say we want to remove a group. All we have to do is, just like the folders, make sure everything is moved out of that section. There you go. Test is now gone. Now let's say I want to actually remove these items from my Start menu. I can simply right click and click Unpin from Start. And there you go. They are gone. Let's just rearrange this for a second. By right clicking on different items around Windows, especially with these tiles, you can access a lot of different options. So if I right click on mail, for instance, we can have different resize options, just like so. We can even choose some app settings. And finally, we can even uninstall the app itself. There's many different options which you can do from here. Let's just make this back to the default. Move this up here like that. There you go. Okay, so now for the middle section. Here, you can find a list of pretty much all installed programs onto the computer. If you want to, let's say, navigate to somewhere really quickly, all you have to do is click on either the hash or A or B, C, D, etc., etc. And here you have a little menu. You can choose which letter you want to jump to. It's nice and easy. So let's click on M. As you can see, we've jumped to all the items which start with the letter M. That's a bit far down, so let's just scroll up again. Let's say you want to search for an item on the Start menu. You can simply just start typing, and then it will appear. As you can see, my mouse wasn't actually on this search bar here, and I could still search. Let me just prove that for you. Let me just remove the search completely. I can open the start menu and I can still search. You don't actually need that search bar at the bottom. It's just there for comfort. Let's just add that back again. Okay, now let's go to the left-hand section. So this is what I call the user folder shortcuts. I don't think this is the official name, but if you do know the official name or have a better suggestion, then please leave a comment down below. That'll be perfect. Okay, so here we can navigate to different user folders with ease, rather than having to go through File Explorer and then clicking, let's say, Documents or Users then Documents. We can simply just click here and open our document straight away. Nice and easy. You can do the same for pictures as well. As you can see, they've opened up. And finally, we can do the same for, let's say, settings. Open settings, and here are your window settings. You can change a variety of things in here. We'll cover a video on this section later. Okay, we also have two other buttons which I didn't select, which is Geeks Test and Power. So here with Geeks Test, this is your user. So I've called myself Geeks Test. We've got different options here, like change account settings. But here, these are the main things we're going to be looking at. We've got lock, sign out, and we can also choose another user account. So lock is perfect for when you want to leave your computer for a few minutes and make sure no one else can access it in the meantime. It keeps all your work open in the background. All you have to do is just re-enter your password if you have one to get back into the computer. Sign out closes all applications you have open, but doesn't shut down the computer. This is a good way for you to switch to another user who's going to be using it for an extended period of time and you finish with your work. Finally, we have the change user accounts. I can click on one of these accounts and it will switch to that user. It will still have my account open in the background, so all my work will still be there, but to access it again, I will need to re-enter a password if I have it. It's very similar to lock, but it means you can just quickly jump to another user with ease. Finally, the other option is power. So here we've got 4 options. You actually may only see 3, which will be sleep, shutdown, and restart. I'll explain why in a second. Sleep puts your computer into low power state but keeps all of your programs open. So all of your work, all your applications, etc. It will all still be open. This is quite useful for when you're, let's say, leaving the computer and you don't want it to consume too much power or too much battery. This is the perfect option to do it. Hibernate is a weird one. It's a mix between sleep and shutdown. It puts your computer in a low power state, but it does close your applications down. It's been seen as become more obsolete recently, since sleep does function very well and keeps your programs open, but some people still prefer to use Hibernate. Shutdown, just like the name suggests, completely shuts down the computer. All your applications, programs, and work, etc. will be closed down, so make sure that you save before you do so. You should do this probably once a day. Maybe, let's say, before you go to bed, you should shut down rather than sleep or hibernate or whatever. It just may extend the life of your computer. And finally, we have restart. It's very similar to shutdown. However, once the computer is completely shut down, it will then turn the computer back on. This is good for troubleshooting, for diagnostics, let's say to finish an update, etc, etc. Many reasons why you want to just click the reset button. Okay, almost done here. There's a few things which I'd like to just show you. We can rearrange and select what's on this user folder shortcuts. We can do this by clicking on settings, go to personalization, go to start, and then click choose which folders appear on start. Here, I don't want to show my pictures anymore because I don't really use them too often, but I am downloading a lot of applications recently. So I want to tick downloads to see where the installer has been saved to. And I also want to tick File Explorer because I want to explore the rest of the computer. This is a nice, easy way for me to just get some nice shortcuts without me having to navigate via the File Explorer down here, for instance, or maybe I won't even have that pinned. So here's where we can add it. I can also add a network, for instance. Let's say I'm running a home network, but let's have that off for now. There's many different options here, as you can see. Now, if I open Start, we can see the icons have changed. We've got Documents, Downloads, File Explorer. As you can see, this opens our Downloads folder, and File Explorer opens the general area of quick access, which you can easily access the rest of your computer. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.